Hello world, my name is Atticus and welcome back to the break room. Today, we finished the prologue. Maybe. Let's talk to Dorothy. Oh, Estelle, this place is wonderful, isn't it? I'm even starting to wonder if the number of photo courts is going to be enough. The scenery sure is great, like you say. By the way, what's a photo quartz? It's an ultra-thin crystal circuit fabricated from septium. It's set up so that you can take a photograph by burning it with light. That's just what I'd expect from a camera woman, someone who knows the tools of the trade. That reminds me, what's the deal with Joshua? Well, he says he's getting some fresh air. A raven-haired young man standing silently in the flowing breeze. I think I could take a really good picture with that kind of setting. Do you think he'd let me snap a shot of him if I asked? He doesn't seem to be a fan of that kind of stuff. I think he'd probably turn you down. Aw, what a waste. He's probably just shy, right? And how about Alba? Oh, hi there. Estelle, was it? Is your partner feeling alright? Yeah, he said he just wants to get a bit of fresh air. I see. There's certainly a nice breeze up here, isn't there? I wanted to say, however, that I'm impressed that the both of you are bracers at such a young age. And if I remember correctly, one must be at least 16 years of age to qualify to become a bracer, right? You sure know your stuff. And that's right, I'm exactly 16 myself. How nice it is to be young. There are limitless possibilities at that age. If I were about 10 years younger, I'd solve the mysteries of all these ancient ruins across the entire continent with these very hands. The entire continent, huh? That's a pretty tall order. Which means that you're not from Libero, right? No, I was born in the north. But just for the record, I'm not from Erebonia. You don't have to worry about that. Although I hate war with a passion, that hatred isn't directed at the people of the Empire. You lost someone dear to you? Yeah, my mother. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up any painful memories. It's okay, it happened more than 10 years ago. And since then, there's been a new addition to the family. Oh, so you mean that boy over there? Yeah, he's like a little brother, although he's probably trying to act more like an older brother. I wonder why I'm telling you all this. Usually this isn't the kind of thing a person tells others. It's perfectly fine. Aren't good relations such a wonderful thing? Oh man, the taste of a cigarette is wonderful. And at first I wasn't in the mood to come do a story in a rural place like Roland, but sometimes these types of places aren't so bad. If you want to be rude like that, then maybe you shouldn't have come at all. No can do. This was a direct order from the editor-in-chief to teach that blockhead girl a thing or two. Otherwise, I'd be all over the kingdom searching for the latest scoop right now. When you say scoop, don't you just mean gossip for your next article? Not that I have anything against gossip, but reportage is predominantly greater. And in that sense, the place that has my interest peaked is Bose. The Bose region? Did something happen there? A number of large burglaries have taken place one after another. The identity of the criminals is unknown, but it seems as though the group has got a pair of wings. Wings? Oh, I see, an airship, right? What are they, sky bandits or something? Is this Final Fantasy XII? That seems to be the most logical conclusion. But there's also the possibility that this could be an imitative deception by the Erebonian Empire. What? That's impossible. We're supposed to have a peace treaty with them. Sure, but the Empire incurred some heavy losses during the war 10 years ago. They can't do much now that every other nation on the continent has their eye on them, but it could be a way to get back at us. That said, nobody really knows for sure, which is why our job as reporters is to bring these things to light. Alright, we've spoken to everybody. How are you doing, Joshua? Are you still feeling sick, Joshua? No, I'm much better. I should be good to head back whenever everybody's ready. I'm relieved to hear that. What brought this all on, anyway? I doubt it was a lack of oxygen in the tower because the rest of us are alright. Maybe it was a sudden fear of heights? I don't think so. Estelle, Joshua! Are you finished taking pictures? You bet I am, and I got a lot of good ones too. Then it looks like we're done here. How about we head back to town? Alright, greenhorns, lead the way. I'm counting on you, children. Do we have to? Okay, good. Don't have to go through the tower again. Goodness, that was rough. Thank you so much for escorting me back here. This is the first time I've ever been able to make it back from some ruins without being chased or bitten or... I don't know how to begin to express my appreciation. You don't need to thank us, it's our duty as bracers. I think you'd be better off hiring some bracers to begin with next time you go off to investigate some ruins. My head says yes, but my wallet says no. I'll try and save up a bit, though. Well, have a wonderful day, and I hope we can all meet again. I think it's about time we said goodbye as well. I was a bit nervous at first, but you kids did a fine job. Let me just say thank you to the both of you. That's what I like to call raw skill. Now, don't get all cocky on me. The bracers I know would make you two look like little fledglings, not ready to leave the nest. You're gonna need to work harder. I'll try to remember that. So, are the two of you headed back to the company soon? Nah, we're gonna spend a day or so relaxing here in Roland. I need to write up a rough draft for some articles and such. I'll head over to the Orbital factory and get these photographs developed. Take it easy, you two. I guess this is the last of the jobs we got from Dad. They were much tougher than I thought they'd be. I agree with you there. I feel like I have a greater awareness now about what it means to be a bracer. It's not just about fighting for justice. There you go again, saying all the right things. But, yeah, I guess I get where you're coming from. It seems like we've got a long road ahead of us if we want to succeed in this profession. For the time being, why don't we report to the guild? That sounds like a good idea. Oh, but before we go, how are you doing? Still not feeling well? Thanks for asking, but I'm feeling a lot better. All right. Another job, well done. More or less. Oh, Estelle and Joshua. Shara, what are you doing here? This is a rare occasion. You're usually out and about. I just finished the jobs I took over for your father, and I was reporting to the guild. So you finished your load too, huh? Somehow or other, I guess. I heard from Ina that you guys aren't doing too bad yourselves. I guess everything I went through to train the two of you amounted to something. We're grateful too. Well, I guess we'll report in as well then. Go ahead, let's hear what you've got. Reported about escorting the reporters. That's fun. That was a fun way to say that. But we're still 8th class. Good work, you two. How about you, Charizard? Don't you think they've done a fine job? For a bunch of newbies, you did an average job. But you shouldn't be satisfied with that level of work. Especially you, Estelle. You're always the first to get on that high horse of yours. Okay, I get it already. Great work, all of you. I'm surprised that we were able to fill the gap left by Cassius so quickly. I wonder if we'll be able to relax for a bit now. I don't know. I can imagine that the downtime might be a bit of a drag. Well, that won't be a problem since there are plenty of other small jobs like patrolling the roads and exterminating monsters. It's been a while since I've been able to take a break. Alright, it's time for my reward. I'm going to drink until I can't drink any more tonight. Estelle, Joshua, you two join me as well. Do we have to watch you get plastered and make a fool of yourself? Oh, so what you're saying is that you're turning down my invitation. You've got a lot of nerve to do something like that to your mentor. But what am I supposed to say? Your drinking habits are intolerable. You cause a ruckus, dance like a maniac, and try to strip in public. Agreed. It's pretty embarrassing. Charizard, just where do you think you're going to take these underage kids? Come on, the alcohol is what makes things entertaining. But if you're so against coming along with me, then I don't need you, Estelle. Really? Yep. Instead, I'll just have Joshua make up for your absence. Why me? Shara? Now hold on a minute. Joshua, you look like you'll make a fine companion. Whether we're talking booze or something else behind closed doors, I'll help break you in. Break me in? I got a solid, deer in the headlights feel from that line. Goodness, game. We're just gonna move on. We've got a major problem. Huh? Mayor Klaus? Estelle, Joshua, and Sherazard, am I glad to see you. Saved by the bell. What's wrong, sir? And why are you in such a hurry? This is terrible. My home, disaster, it's gone. What? Alright, calm down, Mayor Klaus. Take a deep breath and let it out. Apparently, it seems as though my home was robbed while I was out. What? That's not being calm at all, Estelle. I had something to speak with Father Divine about, so I was over at the chapel, and when I came home, it was rather odd for no one to greet me at the door, so I looked around, and the rooms were in a state of great disarray. Oh, wait. What about your wife and Lita? Don't worry. They're both fine. I found them locked up in the attic room. That's a relief to hear. It's lucky that no harm came to anyone. It won't get us anywhere just sitting around here, so could you take us to the crime scene, Mayor Klaus? Absolutely. I appreciate your cooperation. Wait for me. I'm going too. Good idea. We may be able to be of some help. Well, if you insist. Ina, we'll be at the mayor's place investigating the incident. If you have anything come up, just toss it on Ridge's soldiers. I'm sure he's just relaxing at the bar anyway. Yes, I'll do that. And everyone, be careful. Oh no, the crystal was stolen. Who could have seen that coming? Wow, this place is an absolute mess. The crooks really tore through here. Look at the safe. The septium, which was supposed to be given to Her Majesty the Queen, has been stolen. I'm really sorry, especially after having you go through all the trouble to bring it here. It's not you who should be apologizing. It's the crooks who are in the wrong. By the way, how are the other rooms in the house? The other rooms, for the most part, appear to have been left untouched. They're about as messy as the attic room in which my wife and Lita were locked up in. Estelle, Joshua, there's something I want you to do. Which is? I'll speak with the mayor about the incident. I want you two to check out the inside of the house. You mean like an on-site investigation? Are you sure we're up to the task? Since we're all here, splitting up would be the best way to cover the most ground, no? Alright, we'll see what we can do. Proceed carefully and deliberately. Alright, Mayor Klaus. How about we talk in the parlor? Sure. Now, where to begin? An on-site investigation, huh? I'm starting to get butterflies in my stomach. How about we start from this room? And let's not forget to ask for witness statements from the other residents. Sounds like a plan. Intriguing. So if this is the worst of it, I mean, the characters are about to go through this whole thought process, but like, let's just do it beforehand. Because why not? This is a bop. This game's got some real good music. If this is the worst of it, then this was clearly the target. Probably the safe, specifically the septium within the safe. Which means someone who knew that the septium would be in the safe. It could be the spy from the mine. Perhaps he'd heard of the septium and maybe he pieced together that the bracers were bringing it back, but that doesn't seem likely to me. It seems more likely that it's Chosette or whatever her name was, because she watched it go into the safe, knew exactly where in the house it was. And she's got a good cover story, but it's awful suspicious. Of course, we, the audience, have the benefit of knowing that this is a story and can apply some storytelling logic, right? The earlier scene where the mayor puts it in the safe and says, it's going to be safe here. We know immediately it's certainly not going to be safe there. Because why else have that line? Unless for the irony. The gift that we delivered to the mayor for the queen is... Those crooks are not going to get away with this. It doesn't look like they jimmied the door either. They must have decrypted the combination and opened it, or... Could they really have cracked the combination? It's not impossible, but I imagine that'd be difficult for anyone besides a skilled pro. My best guess is that they figured out the combination using a much simpler means. What do you mean by simpler means? Well, let's see. They could have, for example, dusted the buttons with a special powder. A powder like that would have absorptive properties, and due to its fineness, it would be invisible to the naked eye. However, if a blue light were placed over it, it would glow. Alright, and? Now, let's imagine for a minute that the mayor entered the combination with the powder present. The powder on the buttons would stick to his fingers and come off. This would be one way to know which buttons were pressed. Now, wait a minute. Wouldn't they still not know the order in which the buttons were pressed? That's not exactly the case. As the powder collected on the fingers increased, the amount taken from the buttons would decrease. In other words, the crooks could press the buttons in order starting from the least luminescent. It might be a little more difficult if there were duplicate numbers, but the crooks should be able to make a pretty good guess as to what they are. That makes sense. Joshua, are you a genius or something? That's just basic knowledge. Anyway, let's check out the buttons. That's not basic knowledge, that's inordinate knowledge of criminal activities, Joshua. Just as I thought, powder was used. Now there's no doubt in my mind that this safe was opened using the same method I just explained. Oh, right. Now the big question is, who dusted the buttons with that powder? We know it would have to be at least someone who visited the residence. Right, now figuring out who that is, that's going to be the tricky part. This pot's been tipped over, but there's nothing inside. It looks like it only tipped over after being hit by something with force. It's just like the mayor to have a ton of difficult books like this. It looks like he's got some valuable antique books here as well. The criminals either had no idea about the value of the books, or they weren't here for the books. This place is all torn apart. Lita would probably faint if she saw this. It looks like all the books on the shelf have been scattered about the room. It seems kind of senseless to have done all this. There are several documents inside the drawer. They don't appear to have been disturbed. They seem to be documents regarding Roland City government. The fact that these are as they are suggests that there was no political aim involved. Oh. It's the same. Interesting. This is just a clutter box, right? It's empty as well. The box lock looks like it was burned off. The criminals may have used an orbital gun. Oh. Look, there are some marks on this railing. You're right, and they're fresh too. It looks like something metal dug into the wood. Ah, that's how they got in. Climbed up onto the porch with a grappling hook. Huh? What's this? A survey's leaf. A survey? Don't you think it's a bit strange for a leaf to be in a place like this? On top of that, it's not a type that grows around here. You're sharp, Estelle. This is the place where the residents were locked up. It was probably dropped by one of the criminals as they were locking everybody up. So it's a key piece of material evidence, right? Excellent. I don't know what that tells us, but probably something. I had such a scare. I was cleaning up the attic when suddenly a bunch of masked men came barging in. Masked men, huh? That means this wasn't a one-man job. How many people were in the group? I'd probably guess about 3 or 4. Oh, that reminds me. One of them was short. It might have even been a girl. It might have even been Josette. Well, these rooms are perfectly clean. Are you alright, ma'am? Yes, I'm fine. The intruders weren't violent towards us. Is there anything you notice in particular about the intruders? They were wearing masks, so I wouldn't be able to tell you about any specific features. That reminds me, I'm certain the front door was locked. I locked the door just to be safe since my husband had gone to the chapel and there were just the 2 of us here. I wonder how in the world they got in. Grappling hook, already solved that one. Anything of interest in here? No, I don't think so. Are you really done investigating? It seems a little too quick to me. How about looking around a little more carefully? I'm sure there's something you've missed. Was there something in here? Well, that's a fun way for the game to tell me that I've missed something. I investigated this, right? Yeah. We got this, that. Do we investigate it again? No, we don't. There is still the question of what happened to the pot. But like, if they're throwing things all around, it doesn't seem far-fetched that it just got knocked over. We got that. I'm not seeing anything new in this room. Is there anything else in the attic? No? You got anything new? When I think about the fact that I'm going to have to clean up that study, my head starts to spin. When I get my hands on those criminals, I'm going to give them a beating like they'll never forget. Anything in here? No? Anything else? It looks like the intruders took off with a bunch of preserved food. I wonder if they were hungry. Okay. Talk to Lita again, just in case. Okay, yep. Time to double check the kitchen. Nope, not getting anything. What about outside? They said the door was locked at the time of the burglary, right? Doesn't look like the lock's been broken either, which means they got in another way. Now are we good to go? I had the mayor run me through all the details. How about you two? Did you find anything? We found lots of new evidence. Alright, then let's check the details one by one and see what you've come up with. First off, what were the criminals after? The septium in the safe. How many of them were there? A group of 3 or 4. Where did they get into the house from? From the terrace on the 2nd floor. Point blank, what is the portrait of those thought to have committed the crime? Citizens coming, going during the day, relatives of Mayor Klaus, somebody who works at the Malga mine, a traveler who visited recently. Wow, you did a good job investigating. It looks like we'll be able to specify who the criminals are with this information. Mayor Klaus, over the past 2 or 3 days, have you had any new faces in your study? When you put it that way, I guess there's been a number of people. That reporter from the magazine company was one. Oh, so those two came to visit you too, huh? But at the time of the crime, they were with us at the Esmelis Tower. I think we can cross them off the list of suspects. I see. So, Mayor Klaus, were there any others? Other than that, there was only Josette. Well, let's not kid ourselves here. I think it'd be a bit of a stretch for her to be our thief. After all, she's a student at the Royal Academy. Criminals aren't always dressed so they can be easily spotted. As for a school uniform, if someone put their mind to it, they could create a replica. I'm telling you, she was a really nice girl. She was modest and courteous. Right, Joshua? I'm sorry to say this, but I completely disagree. Huh? During that time, when the mayor put the septium into the safe, That girl's eyes lit up like a hunter's eyeing her prey. Of course, since I had no conclusive evidence, I couldn't call her out on it. But, at least to me, she didn't look like any ordinary student. You must be joking. Unbelievable. At any rate, it looks like we're going to have to ask this girl a few questions. You wouldn't happen to know where she is, would you? If I remember right, she should be staying at the hotel. But she said something about taking off from Roland sometime today. Well, it looks like we're going to have to hurry then. Estelle, Joshua, let's try the hotel first. Right. Understood. To the hotel! Estelle, Joshua, and even Scheherazade. Is something the matter? Do you remember a girl named Josette? She's a student from the Royal Academy who should be staying here. Of course I remember her, but she checked out just a moment ago. Shoot, we're a minute too late. Let's hurry to the landing port. We might be able to catch her there. She really didn't seem like a bad girl. Sorry, Viren. No time! We've got criminals to catch. I was gonna say stop that airship, but there's nothing. That's what is going on. With the airliner this late, I can't help but think that something happened. Well, that's good. Better than it being on time, I suppose. For our purposes, at least. But please excuse the delay. The airliner should be arriving any time now, so please be patient. Yo, Alan, it's us, if you haven't noticed. Oh, it's you guys. Oh, and Scheherazade, too. Goodness. So, what's up? You didn't, by chance, happen to see a girl in a school uniform around here, did you? A girl in a school uniform? A school uniform from where? From the Genis Royal Academy. Alan, get it together. Alan. This is one obsession I just don't get. Thus defineth man's eternal struggle. Back on topic here. So, you didn't see a girl in a Royal Academy uniform? Nope, not this month. Believe me, I watch for those. Check all the passengers boarding and disembarking, so I can tell you at least that she hasn't come here. Which means that she came to Roland along the roads without using an airliner. This complicates things. Our search field suddenly got much bigger. Come to think of it, there must be others, so they've got to be hiding somewhere. Wait, that reminds me. What does it, Estelle? The leaf! I almost forgot that we found this. Could this be some sort of a clue? Oh, right. We did find that. Shara, do you know of any places nearby where cervais trees grow? Cervais trees, huh? I'm pretty certain they grow in Mistwald, south of Roland. Mistwald. That's the forest in the opposite direction from here is Roland, right? And it seems like it's worth looking into. That settles it. Let's hit up the highway through Roland's South Gate. You're really excited, aren't you? Well, whatever it is, good luck. Alright. Time to head southward. Wait up! You're running like a crazed lunatic. Who can just walk at a time like this? Maybe I should think about cutting back on those blasted cigarettes. What are the two of you up to? You kids again, huh? Actually, we've got to get to Bose ASAP. But the airliner's not even here yet. I know, that's why we're heading there on foot. It'll take some time, but it's not a distance that we can't cover by ourselves. Well, don't wear yourselves out too badly. By the way, are you after a scoop or something? Yeah, and the mother of all scoops, too. No time to talk. We've got to make it there today. I wonder if Neil's gonna be alright. See you later, Estelle, Joshua. Well, aren't they a lively pair? Friends of yours? Those were the reporters from one of the jobs Dad asked us to take over. I wonder what's going on. It is intriguing. Joshua's all out of EP. Let's take a quick rest. Alright, to Mistwald. Still in that prologue. Oh dear. Gonna walk calmly so as to not run into any monsters that we don't want to deal with. Oh, right, this one. We'll exterminate this one. It sure is big. Yeah, it sure does have a lot of health, too. Ooh. This is a rough one. Nothing we can't handle, though. Nothing to it.
Seems you came up short.
We've done it. We've exterminated the monsters. I hate to say it. May have to call this episode soon. My throat is not doing well. Wow, they're not. They're doing 0 damage. Alright, to this fight. And then Mistwald. Maybe. Alright, so Scheherazade is level 12. And I know on the whole, she's supposed to be stronger than Estelle and Joshua. She is their mentor after all. But like, does that mean Estelle and Joshua are supposed to be at level 12 right around now? Have I been dodging too many fights? We made it to Mistwald. Can you tell us anything, Shara? Someone came through here, alright. From what I can see, a number of people passed through here not long ago. I'd wager Mira we're on the right track. How can you be so sure? Because tracking fugitives is an essential skill for bracers. Anyway, let's check the woods. Be sure to keep your voices low. Roger that. Understood. Okay, so, like, not to rig the game or anything, but I think we are going to call it here. Which means my bet earlier was correct. We did not make it to the prologue this week. And I'm not doing that just to prove myself right. It's approximately time to call it for the episode. I definitely thought that we would be past the prologue after the tower scene, but they've stretched out just a bit further. And here we are. How I ever got to the final chapter, I simply don't know. Let alone the first chapter. But next week, maybe, we'll get through the prologue. This is the first chapter. There's 3 games. All, roughly, I assume, of about the same length. And we're gonna get through them all eventually. We'll definitely take a break after the first game. I don't know how long of a break, but definitely something. Well, tomorrow I've got a boss fight, and that'll be fun. Until then, I've been Atticus. Thank you for joining me, and goodbye.